Munira Wilson, the Liberal Democrat spokesperson.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. The Honourable Member for Whitehaven and Workington's review of social care in 2022 found that without reform, by 2032 there could be almost 100,000 children in care, costing an extra £5 billion a year. So it's essential that we recognise the scale and the urgency of this crisis and move quickly, unlike the previous Conservative government. So today's announcements are a welcome step forward. Tackling profiteering will not just help to address the financial crisis facing councils, but to deliver better outcomes for our most vulnerable children and young people, children for whom we all bear huge responsibility in this place. And it's simply unacceptable that they've become a cash cow for private equity companies, raking in profits of 28% or more. So could the Secretary of State spell out when will we see these reforms implemented, and when does she anticipate the backstop will take effect? Cracking down on profiteering is only one side of the bargain. To put provision on a stable and sustainable footing, we must also ensure that councils can provide these services themselves where necessary. So will the government work to support local authorities in running children's homes where they want to do so and where there is need? Many of these private equity firms are also profiteering from children's special schools, and indeed we're starting to see them in the early years sector too. Is the Secretary of State looking at those areas, and will she perhaps apply some of the announcements she's made today to those areas? A new focus, Mr Speaker, on family care is very welcome. Early support for families can keep children out of care who don't need to be there. Kinship carers are unsung heroes who often step up at a moment's notice to look after family members. So will the Secretary of State please commit to moving beyond the very limited pilots that are currently proposed with a universal allowance for kinship carers on a par with foster carers, and take the opportunity in the Employment Rights Bill before the House at the moment to legislate for paid employment leave for kinship carers? All the evidence points to better outcomes, and she will make cost savings immediately, not just in the long term.